So we are going to talk about the 5 types of knowledge. And the chapter's name is Theory of Intuition and Knowledge. And for the certificate course students, you can see the chapter's name is the unit 3, it is given that sensory and extrasensory perception. And then the second subheading is given Theory of Intuition and Knowledge. And when we say Theory of Intuition and Knowledge, that is the Jain epistemology, not other than that. Jain epistemology means what? To talk about which things? Knowledge, ignorance and intuition. And what intuition is, we will talk about that, because once we talked about that, what is intuition? So here again today we will talk about that. In many times we discussed that what is the distinctive or definitive characteristics of consciousness of soul. Then what will be the answer?
Perception or intuition.
It will be better to say Gyan. And the one word you will find in Tattvad Sutra or in Jain Siddhanta Deepika, you find the word is used in Upayog. That's Upayog. Upayog is what? Chetana Vyaparo Upayoga. It means all living beings have consciousness, right? And the manifestation of consciousness, it is known as Upayoga. Chetana Vyapara. It means manifestation of consciousness. That is called Upayog, an English word is that is called cognition. Right? The cognition. So in other words, I can say that today we are going to talk about cognition. In cognition, what will come? All these things will come. 5 types of knowledge, 3 types of nescience, or 3 types of ignorance, we can say, agyan, and 4 types of intuition. All these things will come in cognition. There are 12 types of cognition. Among them, we can categorize into 3. 5 knowledge, 3 ignorance, and 4 intuitions. So 12 types of cognition. So we can give the other topic also. In books it is given that the theory of sensory perception and extrasensory perception. And the other heading is given the theory of intuition and knowledge. Here ignorance is not given because when we say knowledge, then ignorance automatically come in that. And the third topic we can give the theory of cognition. Theory of cognition. And what is cognition? Cognition is a distinctive or definitive characteristic of consciousness or of living being. It is a manifestation of consciousness, right?
So it's a quality. So it's
a quality means because Gyan is a quality. So Upayog is a quality. Darshan, Gyan is a quality. Right?
Yes.
Jeev possesses this quality.
So when we talk of substance and then quality and modes, so then Upayog is a quality. Substance, because we believe in 3 things, substance, quality and modes. So then Upayog will be a quality of the substance which is Jeev.
Yes. You can say it that way. And which quality? Quality again there are 2. There are general qualities and specific qualities. Yes. Qualities, general qualities which are possessed by all substances. Yes. Same in general way. And specific qualities, particular substance possesses a particular quality, that is called specific quality. And this is the Jeev's specific quality, not general quality, which is cognition. Specific quality of Jeev is cognition. Cognition means Hindi word is Upayog, right?
And this is again one of the qualities of Jeev, because there could be many different specific qualities of Jeev. So cognition is just one of them.
The distinctive characteristics, once we talked about that, what can become a distinctive or definitive characteristics which makes the substance special than the other things.
Yes.
So Jeev has this only this quality can make Jeev as a different substance from all other substances.
But there could be also other ones.
Other ones can be there, but they cannot be considered as a distinctive qualities or distinctive or characteristics.
Now what I don't understand is if for a particular substance you can have more than one quality, distinctive quality. Can't you have more than one distinctive quality?
They can, one will be there, not more than that. There will be the forms. Suppose if I will say the consciousness is a distinctive characteristic of soul, and you will say cognition is the distinctive characteristic of the soul. Consciousness and cognition both are same forms of it, in this way.
Okay.
If I say that they can the movement or motion is the specific quality of the soul, can I say? Because
no.
it is possessed by other things also. So we cannot say in that way. There may be some more qualities, but only that quality will calculate.
No, because the reason I'm asking is because you said there were four: bliss, intuition, knowledge, and virya, the power. So those I would have thought were the specific, distinct qualities of Jeev. Four of them.
Yeah, for them we can say that. Yes.
Okay.
That means because when you say that Ananta Gyan, Ananta Darshan, Ananta Charitra, and Ananta Virya. Yes, these can be the. So there may be the more qualities also, but so see, when we say that cognitions and all come under in that, all are the forms of these things. No? So this is the main cognition. So I cannot. We have to take only that kind of quality in which all other qualities can be covered. Suppose if I will say only Ananta Charitra or Ananta Virya, it cannot be in that way. But cognition means all will come under that.
But how will Virya come under cognition?
Because Virya is possessed by that thing which has consciousness. Non-living thing doesn't have any kind of Virya. Conduct, who has conduct? Only consciousness, only they can apply something in this. They don't have any conduct in this. So, this is a cognition or cognitive power. Means to know the thing. That is the thing. To knowledge.
Is it also awareness? If I cognition, does it also mean awareness? I'm aware of something. Does cognition mean awareness?
Awareness is a very gross word. Here we are talking about the subtle and deep thing. Cognition is that in that way. Okay. Awareness to upar meaning okay. Not like that. Awareness will come under that, but upyog is the main thing. Upyog means not like upyog no अर्थ શું છે અહીંયા? What is the meaning of upyog here? I told Chetana Vyapara Upyoga. Means you cannot show your consciousness. How you can show your consciousness by doing any activity. So you can manifest your consciousness through anything, and that through which you are manifesting your consciousness, that is called upyog. Suppose something like suppose I am speaking now, right? So this is the one way to manifest my consciousness. I am conscious.
Through speaking.
Through speaking, I am conscious. Some other activities, if I get some good environment or atmosphere around me, I feel pleasure. So that feeling of pleasure is again a manifestation of that.
So Gujarat of the upyog is called yusu.
No, not that. Not that upyog. Sorry, I have to make sure. I have to differentiate that. Not that upyog. That is a very common thing. Upyog, that is very common thing. No, here upyog is in a sense you can say knowledge. Upyog means here.
Knowledge.
Or intuition, both will come. But if we take jnana in a broad sense, then intuition automatically come under in that. Right? So therefore, which means cognitive power. What means cognitive power? Upyog means cognitive power. It can cognize not only and the thing is that it can cognize not only the outer things. Like suppose I have upyog. I can cognize that this is book, this is paper, this is pen. I can cognize other things as well as I can cognize myself, like a lamp. Lamp can lighten all other things, even it lights itself also. So knowledge is like a lamp, like a light. Right? So in Hindi we will find the word Swa Par Prakashak. Swa Par Prakashak. It is written in the bracket. It is a self-revelatory come other revelatory. Means it reveals others as well as self. Swapar Prakasha. Yeah, Swapar Prakasha. Knowledge is. But the thing is that we have to understand in that way. Swapar Prakasha. Here we are talking about the right knowledge. Here we are talking about the right knowledge.
In many of your texts you write self-relative come other revelatory. Even in others, when we done,
self come other revelatory.
Or even when you say it's got this karma come this karma. So come means with or because even in your previous when we have come here you've said we have got mohinya karma come.
We get that destruction come separation of mohinya karma. So kshay Upasham. We are talking about both things. Na? Kshayopasham. This word is made by the two words, Kshay, Upasham. So here also we are Swa, Par. Swa means self. Par means other. And Prakashak means revelatory. So it doesn't make sense. If you will say that self-revelatory, I think also there is no need to write this word self-revelatory here. Self, come, other revelatory. It will give the same meaning.
Come means end.
End. Come means end. When we make the one word, then we use the word come. It means end. So there are two types of cognition. One is general cognition and other is specific cognition. Right? We talked about that general and specific cognition in one of our classes. Anakar upyog. The general cognition is anakar upyog, and that cognition is known as a intuition. Here intuition, I explained one day, intuition does not mean that wisdom and all these things. The meaning of intuition is there, but here when we talk about the knowledge, or when we are talking or we are discussing the epistemology and we are using the word intuition, even we can use the word perception also. Here, at the place of intuition, you can use the word perception also. But here, what we want to say? Here, general knowledge. Suppose there is a paper. What will be the general cognition? Just I will understand that something is there. I don't know about color. I don't know about the shape, size. I don't know about all these qualities. Just something is existed. Only that I know the existence of the thing. That is called the darshan. Or that is called the anakar upyog, or that is called the general cognition. Right? So general cognition, anakar upyog, they are same. This is a general knowledge. It can be relative. I give one example, and in your summary you will see another example. Suppose there was a group of cows, and I am sitting here, and I am seeing that some animals are there, and I understood that they are cows, but I will get, or I will obtain that knowledge in a collective group, like not specifically, like I will just say they are cows, but then I will think over it and I will see, and then I will find that some cows are white cows, some cows are black, some are small, some are long, some has a good height, some legs are this way, some tail are this way, in this way, some horns are this way. So this will be the specific knowledge. But just I am saying collectively all are cows. Many men and women all are there, but I will say that many humans are standing there. So that is that kind of general knowledge only. I didn't specify. In this group, some are teenagers, some are adults, some are youngsters. No. When I do in this way, that will become specific knowledge.
So when you say Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan, Samyak Darshan is a general knowledge.
No, that darshan is different thing. Okay. So I don't get confused. That darshan is faith. There we are talking about firm faith. So there are many meanings of darshan. When we talk in the ethical world, because when you say Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan and Samyak Charitra, that is related to ethics. Achar Mimansa. Okay. That is your Achar Mimansa, ethics. And when you talk about that, it means Samyak Darshan means to have a right faith. That is the Samyak Darshan. Right? Okay. And it generally we say that कि तुम्हारा दर्शन थया. What it means? कि तुमने देखा, that is a sight on see somebody, to look at somebody, that is the darshan. But here we are talking about epistemology, the philosophy. Then when we talk about the epistemology and when we use the word darshan, here the meaning of darshan means that kind of general knowledge which happens just before specific knowledge. Okay. When you are going in the garden, you see there are many roses. And you will say that how beautiful roses are there. You just saw the roses only. Then you start. That sentence is your darshan only. Just you said that there are many flowers and how beautiful roses are there. Even you will not say how beautiful. Beautiful. To say beautiful means it is again of quality. You will say that there are roses. There are roses only. The existence of the roses you are saying about that. Then you will say that yes, some are yellow roses, some are pink roses. Then you started to specify it. Then it becomes a gyan. So it is a prior stage of Gyan. Okay. So how many names can we use? Anakar upyog is a Gyan. Upyog means Gyan, but it is a prior stage of knowledge. No? If you are getting any kind of knowledge, you have to go through from this. Sometimes, and it's a very short process. Shortly, it's a very fast process. Even we cannot understand how. So the thing is that you can use the words anakar upyog, or in English you can say general cognition, and it can be said darshan. It can be said darshan. So here you can say one word I have used, consciousness of identity. Conscious, and when I see some group or something or some object, and I observe or I obtain the similarity in all those things, that, and in that state the form of consciousness, whatever form of consciousness arises, that form of consciousness is called darshan. It is one kind of state of consciousness, no? So I think you got it now. What is darshan?
Like general things that people use specifically.
General knowledge, general cognition.
What types of intuition you could say?
I will talk about that. So these 4 types of intuition will come under this upyog.
Yeah.
So darshan, we cannot separate darshan from knowledge, no? When I told you it is a prior stage of knowledge. So
sometimes in common grammar or language, people say they've got intuition that something is going to happen or that kind of thing.
That intuition is again different. That intuition, see, one intuition you told that is a firm faith. Other intuition, that is wisdom. Right? There is wisdom, extrasensory perception. That is the different thing.
Is it part of this 4 types of intuition?
No. Here we are talking about 4 types of intuition, which is a simple intuition, what we are general knowledge. There are 4 types of general knowledge.
So there are the deeper kind which are in that.
Deeper, yes, there will be deeper kinds. Yes, there are deeper kinds.
So, like people forces of nature and all this kind of stuff.
Then it will come, yes. Then this one of, what you are saying, the wisdom, it will come under this. Then we talk about the 4 types of intuition, one of the avadhi darshan. And even there is a keval darshan. When we talk about keval gyan, we also say about keval darshan. So these 2 types are. That will come under this. Wisdom will come under this. Avadhi darshan and keval darshan. Okay. Generally, it's a general knowledge, but then specific cognition, that is a sakar upyog. It cognizes an object in its specific form, right? Just opposite, or not opposite, you can understand in this way. When you're in the general cognition, your consciousness is in the form of similarity or identity. But here you are going to particularity. You are particularize the things. Some cows are these, some cows are these. Some cows are these, some cows are these, in this way. And you will pay your attention towards the specific features, like their color, their shape, their size. So that will become your specific cognition. That is called sakar upyog, right? The first one is called anakar upyog, that is darshan, and the other one is called sakar upyog, that is gyan. The 5 types of gyan will come under this. So now you can see in the diagram, cognition means upyog. Then cognition is divided into 2. Determinate. We can say again the other name. Knowingly I use the other word because you can understand the different kinds of words. See, general cognition will be indeterminate knowledge, and the specific cognition determinate knowledge, right? So sakar or anakar. And when we talk about the sakar, what will come under sakar? 5 types of knowledge and 3 types of ignorance. And here you can say anakar upyog, 4 types of intuition, right? So first we will talk about the knowledge. And if you see, because in our daily life, we give more importance to knowledge only. We are not aware about darshan and all these things. No, knowledge we understand. Yes, knowledge is knowledge. We don't understand about darshan and all these things. So first we will talk about the knowledge. And you can see that here 2 parts are there. I gave the 2 things here, direct knowledge and indirect knowledge. If we see the scriptures in Bhagavati Sutra, we will find that there is no this kind of distinction is explained in Bhagavati Sutra. Because when they talk about the knowledge, only there are 5 types of knowledge: Mati Gyan, Shrut Gyan, Avdi Gyan, Manapare Gyan, and Keval Gyan. First time, who used these words? Pratyaksh Gyan and Paroksh Gyan. Umaswati. Umaswati used these, Umaswati gave these two words, pratyaksh and paroksh, direct and indirect.
So this too is 5 types of knowledge, is a breakdown of this knowledge.
Yes, we will again break down the 5 types of knowledges under the category of pratyaksh and paroksh. So the commonly you will find that which are the pratyaksh and which are the paroksh. Can you say?
Shruta the direct knowledge and nothing also.
Direct.
But the other definition, direct knowledge is knowledge of the soul, and indirect knowledge is anything not related to the soul.
No. Direct knowledge is something which you like see, which you get with your senses.
Both of you will give the answer. But Indriya Dikhai, that was considered, that was prevalent in that age. कि इंद्रिय थी जे ज्ञान है, that is the pratyaksh knowledge, and even we believe in this way. Yes, if I can see that I can see this pen, it means that is the pratyaksh knowledge. But in pratyaksh you will find the word is aksh, and there are 2 meanings of aksh. One is senses and one is the soul. So according to Jainism, he is right, Rajiv Bhai. Direct knowledge means that knowledge which is obtained through soul, without help of any kind of senses. Without help of any kind of senses. That was there.
Samaniji આવ્યા હતા ને ચૈતન્ય પ્રગતિ ત્યારે જ સમજાવ્યું હતું કે પ્રત્યક્ષ is exactly opposite of કે anything just for the soul is direct.
Yes.
But then how can you get
It's a
knowledge
big-
also without the senses?
Without the senses. If you have a Abhijan Manapare, then you don't need to use your senses. Whatever part of your body, whatever part of your soul is like purified, through that you can understand it. You don't need the senses. Yeah? So pratyaksh means what? So make sure pratyaksh means we are talking here, aksh means soul, and the knowledge which is obtained through soul, that is called pratyaksh jnana. And paroksh means the knowledge which is obtained through senses and mind. But what happened at that time, the Nyaya philosophy, one of the Indian philosophies, it was prevalent there, and according to them, the pratyaksh means when the contact happens or contact take place between which the senses and the object, then only we can obtain the knowledge. And that knowledge is contact between the senses and the object is the pratyaksh jnana. According to Nyaya philosophy, not only Nyaya philosophy, commonly it was believed in that way, but according to Jain philosophy, it is a unique thing. The pratyaksh means through soul. Then what happened? In the 6th century, Jinabhadra Ganik Shama, just to resolve this problem, how can we resolve this problem now? Then he told that let us divide the pratyaksh into 2. Let us divide pratyaksh into 2. One is the samvyavaharik pratyaksh and one is the parmarthik pratyaksh. You will see I have used the word transcendental pratyaksh. Transcendental means parmarthik. Parmarthik pratyaksh. And empirical means samvyavaharik, means pragmatic, practical, and parmarthik means which is transcendental, not a common thing.
Beyond senses.
Beyond senses. So now you see, now there is no paroksh, he divided and pratyaksh. And according to Jainism, what was there now? When we give the definition in this way, pratyaksh means the knowledge which is obtained through the soul without help of senses, then which jnans will come under which kind of knowledge will come under the pratyaksh, avdhi, manaparya and keval jnana, right? And what will come under the paroksh? The knowledge which are gained through senses and mind, then mati jnana and shruti jnana. According to that definition, that will come under that, and we believe in that also. But just to resolve the problem, Jinabhadra Ganik Shama, now it is prevalent in our Jainism, that pratyaksh is divided into 2. One is the parmarthik, that is transcendental direct knowledge, and one is the samvyavaharik, that is empirical knowledge, direct knowledge. It is also direct knowledge, empirical direct knowledge. Then he gave the indirect knowledge. There are 5 types of indirect knowledge are also there. But for you, even we will talk when we talk about the praman, the next chapter, then we will talk about all these things. But I have just kept here because they are considered the paroksh knowledge. Paroksh jnana, indirect knowledge according to Jainism. Memory, because in memory you don't need senses and all these things. Recognition, logic, inference, because this canonical literature means agam, that will come under Shrut Gyan, and all four will come under the Mati Gyan in a sense. But they are all as paroksh. They are not pratyaksh, they are paroksh. Here what we are talking about, we will talk about this five knowledge only. So first we will start with the perceptual knowledge. So you got it. First, when in Jainism we will find there are five types of knowledge only. Then Umaswati just gave a new dimension to it and say that there are two types of knowledge. He started his, in Tattva Sutra you will see that he started his philosophy with the Praman actually. He was talking about the Praman, and then he said that we can, because in Jainism, afterwards this kind of research has been done, where we should put Gyan. When they talk about the Praman, there are two types of Praman, Pratyaksh Praman and Paroksh Praman. Then they said that in the same way, there are two types of knowledge, Pratyaksh Gyan and Paroksh Gyan. And what will come under the Pratyaksh and what will come under the Paroksh? Then according to Umaswati, the things of the Manaparya and Keval, they will come under Pratyaksh, and Mati and Shrut, they will come under Paroksh. But after that, what happened? Everybody started to say how it can be happen, then just problems arises there, and it was not so practical. Then Jinabhadra Kshamasraman, one of the Jain Acharyas, his time was the 6th century AD, and he gave again a new definition, not new definition, just gave some other shape, and he says that we can divide pratyaksh into two. One is the Paramatik pratyaksh and one is the Samvaric pratyaksh. And in Paramatik pratyaksh, we can keep this clairvoyance, mind reading and omniscience. Even we can more.
So according to Umaswati, the perceptual and verbal would have been paroksh.
Paroksh.
So he reconciled
he
this.
He says that there are five types of knowledge, and then one sutra will come Adye Paroksham. It means the first two knowledges will go under the paroksh category, and the other Anyat Pratyaksham means other three will go to the pratyaksh category according to Umaswati.
Okay.
But now you find in this, like Nandi Sutra also they explain in this way. So this is the format which is given by Jinabhadra Kshamasraman. Right? So first we will talk about the empirical knowledge, Samvyavaharik Gyan. Empirical knowledge. What is the meaning of empirical knowledge? The knowledge which is produced with the help of senses, mind and word. Everything. Senses, mind and word. Because why we have to say everything? When we say senses and mind, then Mati Gyan will cover under that. But we have to say words because we want to talk Shrut Gyan also. Right? The senses, mind and word. So two types of empirical knowledge. Mati Gyan, and what is the English word for Mati Gyan? Perceptual knowledge. And Shrut Gyan, verbal knowledge. Mostly I use the word which are used in Jain Siddhant Deepika, the illuminator of Jain tenets, because this is the good book book is written by Acharya Tulsi and translated by Nathmal Tatia, and whatever words he used, the philosophical words we find, if you will read these words or if you learn these words, whatever book you will take, philosophical book, you will get the meaning, because the rich words, Nathmal Tatia used the words. So we used only those words. The perceptual knowledge is the Mati Gyan and verbal knowledge is Shrut Gyan, right? So Mati Gyan, both will come under the empirical knowledge. And empirical perception, when we talk about the Mati Gyan, so perceptual knowledge, it can also divide into two. Perceptual knowledge we can divide into two. First is that sense perception and mental perception. Sometimes what happens, generated by the sense organ only. You don't think about that. It's first generated by the sense organ, contact with mind, like color, taste, smell, etc. of an object. When we talk about the sense perception, it means senses plus mind. Here the importance is given to senses. Sense perception means mind will be there, but importance is given to senses. Senses first there will be a contact between object and senses, and then mind will do something. So that is called. And sometimes what happens, you don't need to use your senses only, just thinking, mind only. So that will come under the mental perception. Perception through mind alone, like pleasure, pain. So that will also call Mati Gyan. That is also Mati Gyan. Mental perception is also Mati Gyan. You are remembering somebody. Then no senses you are using. But it is a type of Mati Gyan. And which you can see that we take it here for paroksh. It will not come under pratyaksh actually. It will come under paroksh. Memory. Memory will come under. So here what, I'm not, now we are not concerned with that, we are just talking about the Mati Gyan, and Mati Gyan can be divided into two, sense perception and mental perception. And what is sense perception? Sense perception means you are using your senses plus mind, both.
So that means that this Mati Gyan can be either Pratyaksh or Paroksh.
Some parts of Mati Gyan will go into Paroksh also. All these are the Mati Gyan, memory, recognition, logic, inference. If you are guessing something, so again that is because here you cannot see any role of senses. So how can you put in the Pratyaksh Gyan? So it will go into Paroksh Gyan. But that knowledge which is, because the main conflict was what? Main conflict was that other philosophies believe that if you are observing or obtaining something, obtaining knowledge through your senses, then it should be Pratyaksh Gyan. Then we also told that okay, it should be Pratyaksh Gyan. We will tell it is a Samvyavaharik Pratyaksh, not, and we will say empirical direct knowledge, right? But even in Mati Gyan, there are some parts which will not come under the empirical direct knowledge, because here we don't use senses also. So it's like guessing. If you are inferring something, if you are passing through there, and suppose if you are seeing a fire, if you are seeing smoke, and as you see smoke, you infer that there must be fire because smoke came out from there. So that is your guessing only. You didn't see fire, just you are inferring by seeing a smoke only. So that inference or that guessing will come under the Mati Gyan, but which kind of Mati? Paroksh. It will go into Paroksh. So here we don't actually, I told you ki this is a part of Mati Gyan, but we say that these are the Paroksh Gyan, 5 types of Paroksh Gyan is there. We don't consider in that way, yes, this is but what I understood, this is a part of Mati Gyan. All these 4 are part of Mati Gyan, and this one is the Shruti Gyan only. So even one type of Shruti Gyan is also here taken as a Paroksh Gyan, as the convert. So this is again actually it's more related to Praman theory, not knowledge theory. It's more related to Praman theory, not knowledge. Here we are talking about knowledge. So just I put this part because we are going to discuss when we talk about the Praman also. So here we are concerned to hear this part only. Okay. So Mati Gyan can be 2 types: sense perception and mental perception. Is it clear? What is sense perception? So you fix this maxim: senses plus mind. That is sense perception. And what is mental perception? Only mind. Now, 4 types of Mati Gyan is also there. 4 types of Mati Gyan. Sensation, that is called avagraha. And what is avagraha? It happens after darshan. It happens after darshan. Means darshan is a very general knowledge.
So it's 4 types, which is this?
Mati
4
Gyan.
types of Mati Gyan.
There are 2 types of Mati Gyan. Then we will find that there are 4 types of Mati Gyan also.
Okay.
So the definition is given: cognition of a generic character in a wake of the intuition of the contact between the sense and object. As there is a contact between senses and object, first what happens? Darshan. And it is not so clear. It is not a clear knowledge. After that what happens? Avagraha. Even it is not clear. Even in this, it is a part of knowledge now. Avagraha is a part of knowledge. After darshan, since I told that after darshan we get the specific knowledge, but it's not a direct process. We have to pass through the avagraha, iha, avaya and dharana. There are 4 steps. So avagraha means what? Just you are getting something more than darshan, but not clear knowledge. It's again like one kind of you find the thing is existed there, and some should be there. This kind of knowledge only, right? And after avagraha, the English word for avagraha is sensation. And then what happens? So for example, I can say that suppose you are sleeping, you are in your sound sleep, and somebody is calling your name, okay, Rajiv Bhai. Then some words go in your ear. When they say again and again 3, 4, 5 times, then words go in your. Then what happens? Something happens in your mind. Somebody is calling. There's only this much knowledge, that is avagraha.
Okay.
So there is a lot more difference between darshan and avagraha, very near darshan and avagraha. But avagraha is a part of knowledge and darshan is a darshan. Darshan is also part of knowledge, but it's a prior stage of knowledge. But it is a stage of knowledge. That darshan is a prior stage of knowledge, but avagra is a stage of knowledge. Right? Then you will see that yes, somebody is calling. You don't know who is calling, to whom he is calling. You don't know that. But some voice came and you say that somebody is calling. Then what happened? Iha. Second step is iha. Avagra, and between avagra and iha there is a doubt also. But that state is not given here, because iha is what? The clearance of doubt. Here you don't have doubt. But before iha there may be doubt. Whether somebody is calling or it's just my thinking. That kind of doubt may be there. But in iha what happened?
No.
Yes, somebody is calling me. Now iha, Raju will think that yes, somebody is calling me.
That's definitely.
He must be calling me. You will think in that way. Means your knowledge is in right direction. That is iha. In doubt, you may be wrong. But in iha, your knowledge is right direction. Then what happened? A why. Then you will say that judgmental knowledge. Now you will decide. Decide means it is a decision. You will say that yes, Neetaben is calling me. You will even find the voice of the person also, and yes, definitely she is calling me, right? And then what happened? Yes, in retention, again and again you think, then that will become your sanskar. That will become your sanskar, and now again the next time when Neetaben will call, you will just catch it. Yes, this is Neetaben's voice, and she is calling me. So it will happen so fast. Say next time. It will go through that process, but it will happen so fast next time. Iha, avai, and dharana.
And that is all
Working
type
very
of
matigya. That is all the type of matigya.
Matigya.
And you will find in your book, because in their book it is not given in so detail, so I also didn't take in that way, but for you I can say that these types, because matigyan is again two types, Shruta Nishrit Mati or Ashruta Nishrit Mati. So Shruta Nishrit means what? Knowledge depends on verbal system. Means, just I gave an example, Neetaben is calling you. So you heard something and then it happens, and then Shruta Nishrit Mati means then finally sanskar take place in you, ki yes, somebody called me. So that when you heard something, and through hearing or listening, you get a mati gyan. So that is called Shruta Nishrita Mati. After listening, you get a mati gyan, that is a Shruta Nishrita Mati. And this is through this process. Avagra, Iya, Avai, Dharana.
In paper, we have to remember this avagra, iha.
Yeah. You can even say that these are the four types of mati gyan for you. But for MA students, they have to mention that there are two types of mati, Shruta Nishrit Mati and Ashruta Nishrit Mati, and there are four types of Shruta Nishrit Mati, and then you can say that.
And then what's the other type? The
We are talking.
I see, okay.
So these four you understood?
Yeah.
Avagra, Iha, Avai, and Dharana. Can you repeat the words? Avagra?
Avagra, Iha, Avai, and Dharana.
Yes, now we start to learn these words. Avagra means sensation. Iha means speculation. Avai means judgment. And Dharana means retention. So speculation means, your speculation is the above stage of doubt. Now you are free from doubt. But doubt is between Avagra and Iha. But here it is not considered. We don't take the doubt, because here these are the stage for right knowledge. And when you come to Iha, it means you are going to the right knowledge. Means whatever you are going to get, that will be the right knowledge.
Which is avai.
Iha. Then in judgment state, Iha is also there. It must be.
Okay.
You will say it must be or it should be in this way. But it will be positive.
Yeah.
It should be, it must be. Then it is. Avai it is. And Dharana is this. Whenever I will get this kind of voice, it means it is a Neetaben's voice. Then automatically it will become a sanskar.
Then you know.
Then you know.
And that is
Matigya. So, Neetaben, now is it okay?
yes, it's fine. But I have to
Sometimes it happens that what is the benefit of reading all these things, no?
No.
What is the benefit of? Because
it does make sense how
it does make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Because we know that.
Because when we talk about an ethical topic like 5 types of vows or 12 types of small vows, then yes, these are related to our day-to-day life. We can do something. But if we read these things, and what we are going to get?
No, it does make sense. It does make sense to me. I never thought about it. Thinking
And even sometimes it happens. Suppose if it is making sense for you, then it is okay. Sometimes it happens when you read philosophy, just that is to gain knowledge only, to gain argument power only.
But
That is the thing only. Even you will not get anything from that. If you talk about Praman Mimamsa, you are not going to get anything. Like if you will talk about this, we talk about Nayavad, Nikshepvad and all this, and they are related to our day-to-day life. But we feel that what is the use of all these things? Sometimes we feel that what is the use of these things, and they are helping us in our.
Yeah, if you understand it properly, then.
No, but I never thought about it. I know, but through how I know. Today I know now. I know.
No, not for you, but many people like feel in this way. Okay, what is the meaning of reading all these things? No? Even you will see many books are written by the acharyas. Only just they are argumenting, and they are just doing. Just cutting the talk of the other, and arguments are there only, and finally will not get any solution.
Yeah.
And what is that? Sometimes even we raise the question to our teachers, and what is the meaning of to read the whole book? Just they are argumenting, so like for you increase your argument power.
Yes.
So if somebody raise question to you, then how will you answer those?
Then on top of, if I want to make my children a little bit more concentrated, I will use this. Look, this is the process. Listen, Robert. Saying listen, I don't think so that works. But I don't know about you, but it does make sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
So that is a Shruta Nishrit Mati, okay Rajiv? And next I heard is Nandi Sutra. If you want to read more about Gyan, the Nandi Sutra is the best agam. It is considered one Mool Sutra, right? Nandi Sutra, and it is completely based on this five, based on, I can say that the complete explanation of five Gyan is given in Nandi Sutra. And Acharya's explanation very nicely explained the whole thing. And for any students it will be very useful to read Nandi Sutra. Sometimes you can take from the library.
Is it English?
It is in Hindi.
Hindi.
You can read Hindi.
Very slowly.
Okay, very slowly. English is not there, but it is a
I
very good
did
book.
I did.
The Nandi Sutra recognizes 4 types of intellect. These 4 types of intellect will come under the Ashrut Nishrit Mati. It means here you don't need to use your sense. Ashrut, Nishrit. Nishrit means dependent, based.
Okay.
Just Ashrut Nishrit means based on hearing or listening. So it depends on verbal system. That is Shrut Nishrit. And depends other than that. Whatever is other than that, it will come under the Ashrut Nishrit.
So Ashrut Nishrit
Mati.
Okay.
It's a type of Mati Gyan.
Okay, yeah.
So for Shrut Nishrit, you have that book, Rajiv, right?
Which one?
Illuminator of Chain Tenets.
Yes.
So you will find in second chapter you will find all
Right,
knowledge.
okay.
So you read from that book.
Okay.
So
The Illuminator of Chain Tenets, right? Illuminator of Chain Tenets.
Yeah, second chapter, and all Gyans are given there. The Shrut Nishrit Mati, Ashrut Nishrit Mati, everything will be clear to you. At once, suppose today we are talking about that, and then
go and read.
then now you can read. Then if you have any question, then you can ask. No? So Ashrut Nishrit Mati, these are again 4 types, and which are explained in Nandi Sutra. And here what 4 types of intellect, 4 types of buddhi is considered a Mati. Buddhi is also a type of Mati. So this Mati Gyan and Shrut Gyan you get right from birth. Every living being. All living beings get Mati Gyan and Shrut Gyan right from birth. There may be difference between the purity of that Mati Gyan and Shrut Gyan. Some has more Mati Gyan, or some has. Suppose something what happens, sometimes it happens that we know many things but we cannot express it. So it means that we have a we have a Mati Gyan but we don't have Shrut Gyan because we cannot speak and we cannot express it. And sometimes some people, they have a less knowledge, but they can express very well. So they have a good Shrut Gyan. Right? So here's type of yeah.
Okay, I'm slightly confused. So these 2 differences, Shrut and Ashrut. What is this? This is
types of Mati. It's not a Shrut Gyan. Related to not keep away the Shrut Gyan.
Okay.
Yes, Shrut Gyan and Mati Gyan actually both are related.
Okay.
Actually both are related. Shrut Gyan and Mati Gyan are related.
Okay.
But when we talk about the Shrut Gyan, then everything will be clear to you, I think. Here Shrut Nishrit Mati means what? The knowledge depends on verbal system. When you speak something, that is Shrut Gyan. But when you think, then it will become a Mati Gyan.
Yes.
She is calling you. You heard the words. That will be your Dravya Shruti.
Yes.
But after that you got that that thinking process. That will be your Mati.
Okay.
So it's a Shruta Nishrita Mati.
Okay.
And in other way, there are many other explanations are also there. Suppose this is your camera or recorder, whatever. I have seen that, but I don't have any knowledge about that. Just I have seen that this is shape and this something black color and all this, and that is my Mati Gyan. I did that Mati Gyan, but it was not so clear, no? Just I did. And then when Rajiv Bhai came, then he will say that, explain me. Then my Mati Gyan become clear and more. Then that is, now my Mati Gyan is not pure Mati Gyan.
Yes.
It is mixed with your Shrut. So I gain the knowledge with your Shrut. So it's a Shrut Nishrita Mati.
Okay.
It's not pure Mati. Right? Binaven?
Yeah, but then what was Shruti Nishrita?
I'm talking about Ashrut Nishrit. Again, he took me Ashrut Nishrit. Ashrut Nishrit, okay? Ashrut Nishrit means 4 types of intellect.
That's just thinking
Ha.
without sensitivity.
Which 4 types of? First is Atpattiki. Sometimes you say Birbal Buddhi. Means even you can solve the problem which you never heard, which you never seen. If that kind of problems arise, then also you can solve. Sometimes what happens, in past we solve this kind of problems, so if again it is these types of problems are coming, then we can solve. That is it. But the first time when the problems came, sometimes it happens means to solve the unheard and unseen problems.
Okay.
That is the Birbal's Buddhi, Acharya Bhikshu's Buddhi. We say that means whatever question raised to them, whatever problems given to them, they were able to give the answers. They were able to solve the problems. So that Buddhi, that intellect is called Atpattiki Buddhi. It doesn't need to read, to study, to go to college. No. That kind of Buddhi, that is a part of Mati Gyan.
Can I just sort of so when you said here this knowledge here, Matignan, you said broke into two. It's sense perception and mental perception. The sense is sense plus mind, and then you said this only mind. So when you came to this one here, this is sense plus mind, because you're using the Shrut and then you're using Matignan. And here it is just pure mental. So then this is only come under mental.
Yes.
Okay.
Mental perception, it will become under mental perception of Pratyeki, right? Actually, Mati Gyan is more related to thinking process and all this thing. Mati Gyan is whatever knowledge you have, that is Mati. When you express it, it becomes Shrut.
Okay.
When you express it, now I am using my Shrut Gyan. Whatever.
But we are Mati and Shruti together.
Here what happened? First, Mati, it will become Mati later. I will talk about that also when we talk about Shrut Gyan. I will give the same example, okay? So where were we? We were talking about Atpattiki. So you've got the Atpattiki. Atpattiki Buddhi. It means the intellect that can instantaneously solve the difficult problem. That kind of problem, unheard, unseen problem, right? Second is the Vainayiki. Vainayiki means Vinay. The intellect born of humility. Sometimes what happens, even you don't read anything, you don't go to college, don't study, but just Vidya Vinayana Shobhati. We say that is the different thing. Vidya Vinayana, if you have a knowledge and if you are humble, then your knowledge, you can increase your knowledge. But here what happens, suppose if you don't have that kind of knowledge, but if you have pure, here we are talking purity will be there. If you attain any knowledge with humbleness, with politeness, if you are serving anybody with politeness, if you are serving your guru with politeness, so you will automatically get knowledge. And that knowledge, that will become your buddhi. Which kind of buddhi? Vainayiki buddhi. Je buddhi tamne vinay thi mali chhe. Not through books and all these things. You did vinay, you did with politeness, humbleness, you got something, you got purity, and because of that purity, you are able to give the answers. You have knowledge. Some people are there, no? They don't do such studies, but because of humbleness, they get that knowledge. And if you have ego, then if you are studying, then also you will not get any result. So that is, they want to say that that kind of buddhi which obtained through the vinay, through the humbleness. Even in your book you will find some stories are also in Nandi Sutra, many stories are given for one. I can say stories, but we will be late. 4 stories are there.
Doesn't matter.
Even you don't need to write the stories in exams. For your understanding, the stories are given in your book, and you can read from Nandi Sutra also. In your book, the stories are not given. The stories are given for 4 types of buddhi. 4 stories are given. You can remember what is the Vaineki buddhi. But if I will start to say stories, then it will be late. Do you want me to say story?
Yes, at least once, because then we will differentiate between 3 and 4 and we go.
See, Atpatik I say that like Birbal's buddhi, you can understand the
right.
Birbals. And Vaineki buddhi, what happened there, the story, whatever is given here, I am just explaining that only. There are two students or 2 scholars, they just did study, they went somewhere and they did study, and one of them was one was very humble and one was egoist. He has the ego on his knowledge. They were coming to their village, and one lady was coming from the well, just putting the pot on the head. It was an ancient time story. So what happened? She was very actually sad. The lady was very sad. Why? What is the reason of her sadness? Her son went to the other country means Pardesh, we say that, other village, and since long time she had not meet him, and what is his condition? She had not any news of his son. So she was very worried about that, and she saw that yes, 2 scholars are coming, and just they studied something, and I heard that these scholars know about the future and all these things, and she asked to them, can you please solve my problems? And both boys, young boys, they said that yes, we can solve your problem. Then can you say me when I will meet to my son? The question was that when I will meet to my son. As she raised the question, the pot from his head fell down and it broke. It was broken. And as it broken, the one of them, he said that your son has already died. Now you will never meet him. Then other will stop. Other boy said, stop. What are you saying? Then he says, mother, you go to your home. Your son is waiting for you. Total opposite answers were there. And the mother, she went to her house, and what she saw, son was waiting there. Now, why there is a difference between knowledge? Here they want to say one's knowledge is pure and one's knowledge is not pure. The same condition was there. Both of them saw the same thing. Pot fell down from the head and it has broken. But one says that because as you raise the question, the pot fell down and it destroyed the same way your son has destroyed. And the other says that as you raise the question, the pot fell down, it means the pot is made by what? Clay. So it met to its own mother, earth. It means you are going to meet your son. Your son is going to meet you. So that what they want to say, the other one's knowledge was pure. The same situation, they studied from the same guru, but they have the different kinds of knowledge. Why? Because one obtained the knowledge through Vinay and one obtained knowledge through ego. So that was the difference. One's knowledge was purer than that. This was the story.
Your understanding will depend on your
people will different way put it out. અહીંયા જ આપણે આવે તો કે તેરા પરથી ના સ્વામીજી પાસે જાય ઘણા જગ્યાએ જેમ કે ઘણા એમ કે સ્વામીજીને મળીને આવે to people.
But all the way you understand, the way I understand it will be different.
Yeah.
And you said the same story, same thing.
Yeah, it is different. How the other person.
That is the one story, and it's a way to say that how, like here what the sense is that the one's knowledge was true and one's knowledge was wrong. So whose knowledge was true? Because of purity, because of Vinay, he achieved the knowledge that became true. Because the same teachings were given to both the disciples.
No, but I think what you're saying, the implication for us is that we should have humility while studying.
Yeah.
If we have ego, that I'm learning this,
Definitely, yeah.
then we will not get as much knowledge studying all this.
Even we feel that, no?
Yeah.
If we read, with respecting teachers, if we read, we get more. And if we just so that is the Vaineki buddhi. And then karmiki, it's a very simple example. The intellect developed due to practice and experience, like example of goldsmith.
કર્યા જ રાખો.
Then he can differentiate that what is gold and what is original gold and what is alloy or duplicate gold. Because of what? Because of his practice on this. Right? So when you do your work, suppose if you are doing work on computer, every day you are doing work on computer, then you are increasing your knowledge. You are doing your homeopathy work every day, you are increasing your knowledge in that field. Whatever you are doing accounting, you will increase your knowledge in that. Because when we do, I am teaching, if I will teach again and again, then first time what I taught, the second time I will taught better. I will teach better, the third time I will teach better. In this way. So Karmiki, the intellect developed into practice, practical experience. And Parinamiki, the intellect that becomes mature with the maturity of age. That is also maturity to age, so there is the importance of experienced people.
Wisdom.
Wisdom, they have experience, no? With maturity of age, as age increase, as age grows, as the knowledge grows. Right? So these 4 types of buddhi.
But this is not 100% true, right? Because you could have someone who becomes old.
That is a different type of the general concept is what? What is the general concept?
Okay.
No? We have to understand that.
Yeah.
I thought
the
same thing when I spoke that the same thing clicked in my mind. Sometimes it happens. People grow and they become in that way.
એટલો ગુસ્સો કરે right વસ્તુ પર ગુસ્સો કરે.
Yeah. But see, generally what happens, suppose when I was in 5 years, 6 years, now I am 20, 21 years, so automatically my knowledge is increasing. No? In that way you can understand that. So that is the Matigyan. Right? So simply I can repeat in this way, Matigyan means the knowledge, it will come under the empirical knowledge. Empirical knowledge are 2 types, Matigyan and Shrudyan. And what is the Matigyan? The knowledge which take place through senses and mind. And even we can divide Matigyan into 2. One is the sense perception and one is the mental perception. Sense perception means the knowledge which takes place with senses and mind both, senses plus mind. And mental perception means only mind is there. The knowledge which is obtained only through mind. Okay? And there is one more division of Matigyan, Shruta Nishrit Mati and Ashruta Nishrit Mati. And in Shruta Nishrit Mati, there are 4 stages. We can say there is a process of knowledge, Avagraha, Iha, Avay and Dharana. And when we talk about Ashruta Nishrit Mati, then 4 types of intellect come under that. Atpattiki, Vainiki, Karmiki and Parinamiki 4 types. This is, if you write this much in your exam, this is enough for you. This is the Matigyan, right? And because you will start in that way, there are 2 types of knowledge, Pratyaksha and Paroksh. Umaswati did this division. Then, so in 6th century, the Jinubhadragani Kshamashtaman say that Pratyaksha is of 2 types, Parmalpik and Samdhyavadik, and then you start. That will be the background of the answer, right? The second empirical knowledge is Shrutigyan. Now here, Shrutigyan means what? Any knowledge that is generated through instrumentality of what? Words, signs or gestures. Words. First thing is that means through hearing. If I am speaking something, means through words you can gain knowledge. If I say water, you will understand water is a water. But if there is a condition, there should be you should be aware about the man-made rule. To which thing we say water. You should be understand that. Because before understanding the Shrutyan, you need that kind of knowledge also, right? That if I say water, it means you will take this thing in your mind. This is the water. Then you can get the Shrutyan. Then what happened? The second is the signs. Even so, words is one is the word spoken words. One is that reading. I am not speaking, just you are reading, and through reading you are understanding something. That will also Shrutyan. That will also come under the Shrutyan. Sometimes happen. Suppose if you say beggar, if he puts one hand on his stomach and one hand on his face in mouth, you will understand that because of his gestures, you will understand that he is hungry. You will get that knowledge he is hungry. So through gestures also, if you get any kind of knowledge, it is a Shrutya. And through signs means, I gave an example. Just if you have seen smoke, if you see the smoke and you can infer that yes, there must be some fire there because smoke is a sign of fire. So through sign you can, if you are guessing something, that will come under the Shrutya, right? So Shrutyan, so for keep in mind, you can just say this is words in both spoken or written, and then gestures and then signs.
This becomes confusing, right? Because if you say smoke, smoke can also come under Mati Gnan, because that's also sense. If I see smoke, then that also becomes part of Mati Gnan. It's not. So this example which you given about smoke, and I think that there could be a fire, could be both Mati Gnan or could be Shruta Gnan.
Shruti Gyan never takes place without Mati Gyan.
I see, okay.
Suyam Mai Ubhayam, that is a Prakrit line. Shrut Hamesha Mati Purvak hota hai. So first Mati will happen. How? One example I can give you process is that now before coming in this class I was prepared to what I have to say. So words are there, just all construction is also there. Suppose I was prepared in that way, then it is I read something in the daytime and then I prepared the thing what I have to give in lecture, and that is my Bhav Shrut. Right? This is my Bhav Shrut first, and then I started to speak here. So this is called Vachan Yog. It is my Vachan Yog. I am using my Vachan. And as well as this is the Dravya Shrut. Dravya Shrut for whom? For you. Even Dravya Shrut means words are coming and you are listening the words. That is Dravya Shrut only. Not getting the meaning even, just listening the words. Then you are listening words means through your which ear you are using? Your senses you are using? So this is a Mati. If you are using your senses, then you are thinking about that, this is a Mati. And then you get, yes, the meaning, then I am explaining, and as well as you are understanding that, yes, the meaning of this thing is this thing is this. Then, if it is clear to you, meaning is clear to you, now you are able to explain anybody that it became your Bhav Shrut. My Bhav Shrut, then Dravya Shrut or Vachan Yog, then your Mati, listener's Mati, and then it becomes a listener's Bhav Shrut when you understand the meaning of the thing. Then it becomes your Bhav Shrut. So this is the process. So Shrut, whenever Shrut will take place, it will take place after Mati. So Mati is in a sense, Mati is a cause of Shrut Gyan. Mati is a cause of Shrut Gyan because before Shrut, Mati will happen there. So you see that here I have written Mati Gyan as a form of sense perception is regarded as a cause of Shrut Gyan, as a sense perception. Because whenever you are listening something, you are reading something, first there will be sense perception. And that sense perception is that reading, whatever you are reading, these are Dravya Shrut. Whatever I am speaking, that is Dravya Shrut. So Dravya Shrut will take place, and after that you will thinking something, means you will perceiving something from your senses, and even you will use mind also, because mind is also sense. There are 6 types of senses, 5 senses you know, and mind is also considered the quasi-sense. Quasi-sense means like a sense. It is also a sense. So you will use your mind and senses, and then you will get the meaning of that thing.
So mind and one is same.
Mind and one is same. The English word for one is mind. Okay?
So how complicated Samaniji, because Mati we know now, Shrut is coming in between and it's just mixing up, and there has to be mixed up. Otherwise,
both are
same and mixed.
Both are together. Both happens together.
Yeah.
Mati Gyan can happen without Shrut Gyan, but Shrut Gyan cannot happen without Mati Gyan. Because when you are doing Utpatti ki, Vaini ki, Karmi ki, so without even, it's just you are memorizing something or something. Because Shrut Gyan is what? To combine the words. That is Shrut Gyan, no? It should be in that form, that is called Shrut Gyan. So, just you are thinking, or Mati Gyan's area is wide and Shrut Gyan's area. Even you can say that in your book it is given that what is the difference between Mati Gyan and Shrut Gyan? Mati Gyan is like an intelligence and Shrut Gyan is like a scholarship. So, in a sense, you can understand in that way. Just I gave an example. Because without Shrut Gyan also sometimes what happens, Mati Gyan is not so clear. Just I gave an example in that way also. Something I understood that, just I gave this summary paper, I sent summary paper to you, all of you read this summary paper and you got something. Yeah? So first, when you were reading, then it was a Dravya Shrut, and when you got something, you got that your Mati Gyan took place. And now you came here, I am explaining it, it is becoming more clear. Then Shrut-Gyan is also. So we cannot actually, both are independent. Huh? Without Mati-Gyan, without Shrut-Gyan, Mati-Gyan cannot become so clear, and without Mati-Gyan, Shrut-Gyan cannot take place even.
So then what do you mean by Shrut-Gnan is invariably preceded by Mati-Gnan?
It means Suyam Mai Ubhayam. Mati-Gyan will happen before Shrut-Gyan.
Oh, Shrut-Gnan is preceded. Oh, preceded means Mati-Gnan is before Shrut-Gnan.
Yeah.
Okay, preceded.
I mean,
Yeah, barabar,
it's wrong,
preceded.
so
No, barabar, preceded. Yeah.
Sometimes even this types of word I got confused.
Preceded.
You are not even wrong. We are everyday Kalachito Yati Avard.
Okay? So for Shruti-Gyan, again, now something I will explain for only Rajiv. For only Rajiv you can listen that, but because for your paper it is not important. There are 14 types of Shruti-Gyan. In your paper it is given because the separate chapter is given for Shruti-Gyan. The whole chapter is given, and I think it will be better you don't read from your paper Shruti-Gyan. This chapter is not so nicely given. When I did MA, then I thought this is not. It should be improved, no? But it's very difficult. So you can read from any other book Shruti-Gyan. Don't read from this MA book. Read from any other book. It is given there, but it's so deep, so sometimes we get confused, you know. So you read from the any other book, because many books you will find the
Jain
Shruti-Gyan.
Siddhant
You
Deepika.
can in Jain Siddhant Deepika you will find some, but if in some book it is given a little elaborately, then read that book also. Definitely you read the Jain Siddhant Deepika, but as well as you read the other books also. You will find that. I will see that. Nandi Sutra is in Hindi, so it is not useful for him. Shruti-Gyan is there. So in MA paper, whatever is whatever given is in Nandi Sutra, the same thing is given. And it is so difficult actually. So Shruti-Gyan is even you can read from the certificate course.
Okay.
Certificate. But types are not given. Types you can read from Jain Siddhant Deepika.
Okay.
So I am explaining types for you only. So even you can understand that. If names you can write, though it is not given in your book. But Shruti-Gyan is the 14 types of Shruti-Gyan. So one is Akshar Shrut, or there are 7 pairs we can say that, Akshar Shrut and Anakshar Shrut. Akshar Shrut means what? Which can be represented by words, syllables, alphabets, language. That is, Akshar means words. So simply. And Anakshar means all gestures, signs, they will come under Anakshar Shrut. So the knowledge which is obtained through signs, gestures, that will become under the Anakshar Shrut, okay? Akshar Shrut, Anakshar Shrut. Then Samyak Shrut, Mithya Shrut means authentic and inauthentic.
Samyak and
Mithya.
Mithya.
Mithya will be inauthentic. Shrut means what? Sometimes you read the wrong books, which is where the wrong explanation is given about all these things. But you are gaining the knowledge, that will be Mithya Shrut, no? And Sangi Shrut, Asangi Shrut. The knowledge of the Sangi, who has mind. Then the beings who has mind, they are known as a Sangi. Rational being.
Okay.
Rational being. Knowledge of a rational being and knowledge of an irrational being. It's from this different perspective there are 14 types of Shruti-Gyan actually.
Okay.
Now it is the types of Jeev, and on the basis of types of Jeev, they say there are 2 types of Shruti-Gyan. The rational, whatever possessed by rational being, that is called Sangi Shrut, and whatever possessed by irrational being, that is called Asangi Shrut. They also possess, Asangi means the Ekendriya Jeev, they also possess Shruti-Gyan. They don't have that kind of capacity, they can express in words and all these things, but they have some Kshayopasham is there of, and they have a Shruti-Gyan, little Shruti-Gyan they have. Right? So Asangi Shrut. Then some Shrut is like which has beginning. Like some books.
So this is again all part of Akshar Shrut.
No. There are 14 types of Shruti-Gyan. The first pair is Akshar Shrut and Akshar Shrut.
Oh, I see. That's the first pair. Okay.
Second pair, what you have written? Samyak Shrut, Mithya Shrut. Third Shrut, Sangi Shrut, Asangi Shrut.
Okay.
And fourth, what I have told? Sadi Shrut, Anadi Shrut. Means which has beginning and which don't have beginning. Means some scriptures they have beginning. Means they have written at in some period. And some Shrut we don't know the period about that, no? So that is we say that Anadi they don't have beginning. Right? And Saparyavasit, Aparyavasit. Paryavasit. Vasit. Which Saparyavasit which has end. That Shruti which has end, and that verbal knowledge which does not have end, aparyavasit, without end.
આપણે કે અમુક કે વો સગ્રામ કે લોગસ કે કોઈ no karma is never going to end.
Yeah.
So that's like
Aparyavasit. Then Anga Pravist means those scriptures which are written by Gandhars. Gandhars means the chief disciples of Lord Mahavir. Some, you know that some agams are written by Gandharas only, and some are written by Acharyas. So they are called Anga Bahya. Anga Bahya Shrut. Anga Pravishta Shrut, Anga Bahya Shrut. And one is Gamik Shrut and Agamik Shrut. Gamik means we have some scriptures in that way, like suppose one of them is Drishtivad, that is the 12th, which is now, it is eloped, we don't find it Drishtivad. In that Drishtivad, what? Some repetition is given there. You will find in some scriptures you will find that same paragraphs are given somewhere with some changes only, and somewhere same paragraphs are given. So this kind of Shrut, which has a more repetition, this kind of scriptures which has more repetitions, is called Gamik. And those kinds of scriptures which don't have repetition, they are Agamik. So on the basis of scriptures, on the basis of compilation, on the basis of time period, on the basis of beings, there are 14, it makes the 14 types.
Which is 7 and then times
7 pairs and then 2.
So that all got the knowledge.
There are 14 types of knowledge.
Okay.
Means suppose I am reading the Acharam Sutra.
Yeah.
So and I am gaining some knowledge from Acharam Sutra, then it will call Anga Pravishta Shruti Gyan. Right?
Okay.
I am reading some book from like Tatvar Sutra. It is written by Umaswati, not by Gandhar. But I am reading Tatvar Sutra. So Anga Bahya Shruti Gyan. I am gaining Anga Bahya Shruti Gyan. Okay? I am reading Drishtivad, which has more repetition.
Yeah.
So I am gaining Gamik Shrut.
Okay, so you can.
Did you get it?
Yeah, you can.
And
this all.
Yeah, and I am Sangi, rational being. So my knowledge, my Shrut is Sangi Shrut. Okay? Your Shrut is also Sangi because we are rational beings.
Yeah.
And if I am reading something which has beginning, then I am gaining the Sadi Shrut. Right?
Okay.
So there are types of Shruti Gyan.
And you can increase to having reading and knowledge.
So that is not the main thing. Actually, main thing is that there are 14 types of Shruti Gyan. What you are gaining is different ways to explain. Actually, in Jainism, whatever, all the divisions are done on the basis of different perspectives. So on the basis of different perspectives, we find 14 types of Shruti Gyan. Right? So this is your part, Rajibai, so mainly, huh? So the Mati Gyan of the form of empirical perception is extensive. So the last paragraph you can see that though Mati Gyan of the form of empirical perception is extensive and basic, its clarity, growth and strength depend on Shrut Gyan. Sometimes what happens, I have Mati Gyan, I have read something and something I know, right, automatically I know, just experience or through my age increase, I know that things. Suppose I am in my, like I see many monks and nuns and I see that this kind of rules are there. Automatically I got all these things, right? So this is my knowledge. But if I will not explain to anybody, it will not a clear kind of knowledge. When I start to explain, then even some experienced can find some mistakes in my knowledge and they can explain me more. Then Shrut Gyan makes our knowledge purer. Mati Gyan, you have a knowledge, but until you speak, it will not become your pure knowledge, no? Suppose I know about all kinds of knowledge, the Mati Gyan, Shruti Gyan, Avdi Gyan, but now I have to speak, then I have to think and I have to know.
Right.
So now after speaking, I will feel that now my knowledge is good, little good as before speaking. Right? So this is the Mati Gyan, Shruti Gyan. Now we are coming through other knowledges. Avdi Gyan. Avdi Gyan is it will become under the transcendental direct knowledge. That is directly through the soul. No need of senses and mind, right? Through the soul, through the purity of soul, all three knowledges. But in three knowledges, again we can divide into these three knowledges into two. Avdi Gyan and Man Parya Gyan are not perfect knowledge. They are imperfect. There are some limitations. Some limitations are there. Keval Gyan only is the perfect knowledge. No limitation is there. In Avdi Gyan you cannot obtain the knowledge of all things. Avdi means what? Avdi itself means not. Avdi means Maryada. Maryada means limit. You have knowledge but in limit. And what is that limit? That first limit is that you can obtain the knowledge of only those things which things are visible, which things has shape, size, color, taste, touch.
Amurta.
Mood, not amurta. You can only gain the knowledge of mood things. Suppose I have a avadi gyan, I can see what is behind this wall. You cannot see if you don't have avadi gyan. If I have avadi gyan, I can see that what is behind that wall. But only those things I can know which are visible to anybody. These things are not visible to me now, but the thing should be visible. The thing should be visible. It is now I cannot see that thing, but I can gain that knowledge. But the thing should be visible. Did you get? Amurt, like Dharmastika is Amurt. Like Atma is Amurt. The Amurt things Avdi Gyani cannot perceive, cannot obtain. Keval Gyani obtain Murt and Amurt both. So that Avdi Gyan is imperfect transcendental knowledge. It is a transcendental, but imperfect transcendental, because it has limitation. First limit is what? It can know only Rupi Dravya, only physical things, which has shape, size, color, taste. That's it. And there are many types of Avdi Gyan. Some has only Avdi Gyan, and many types of Avdi Gyan, but we will not talk about all the types of Avdi Gyan. Only 6 types of Avdi Gyan. The first one is, you can see that on the English names I have given. So first one is Anugami. Anugami means what? What follows the clairvoyant? If I have a clairvoyance, the English name for Avdi Gyan is clairvoyance. If I have a clairvoyance, then I will be called clairvoyant. The person will be called clairvoyant. And if I have a anugami clairvoyance, anugami means क्या हिंदी में? अनुगमन करना. Anugaman means just follow. Follow.
Swallow.
To follow. And suppose if I have a first kind of Avdi Gyan, Anugami Avdi Gyan, then what happens? Now I am here, I can see what is what is in the right direction. Even half mile apart from me, what is happening in the right direction, I can see that. Right? From this room, if I will go to that room, then also I can see that what is happening. If I have a knowledge of the right side, because it may be the right side, left side, front side, back side. There are many types of Avdi Gyan, and even all directions may be there. So if I have only right side of knowledge, and it is Anugami, so from here also I can see. I can see means what? I don't need eyes to see. If I am Avdi Gyani, I don't need. Just through soul I can get that what is in the right side, afar from half mile, and then if I will give you that room, then also that knowledge will come with me in that. So the knowledge will follow wherever I will go, it will stay with me.
Okay.
Like example, sunlight. Sunlight. Wherever you will go, it will follow you. It will be there, no? Sunlight. Example is sunlight. That second kind of knowledge, Avdi Gyan is that which will not follow you. That may be the kind of Avdi Gyan.
Just here in this.
Here only I can perceive the right side, my right side, half mile apart from me, what is happening. If I am sitting in this place only. If I will leave this place, that Avdi Gyan will not come with me. Because it is restricted to particular place only. If I will stay in particular place, then only it will not follow me. That kind of abhigyan which will not follow you. Wherever you will go, it will not follow you.
But surely that man is to lose the soul wherever you are.
But there are different kinds of knowledge. In abhigyan, there are many stages are there. So sometimes it happens, some people, if they have to see something, then they have to go to particular place and then only they can focus on that. So that is called that thing. Related to that.
Can you say that in Sanskrit? No word?
Ananugami. Ananugami.
તો પેલાને
અનુગામી. તો કીધું તું પહેલા ને ત્યારે અવધિગામ થવા લાગ્યું છે હવે તમને.
અનનુગામી.
Ananugami. Okay, which will not follow it. Like for example, if you are creating fire here, so you can that fire can illuminate the objects.
Yeah, but not.
What are here, which are available in this room only. But if you will, if fire is here, then it can just illuminate the objects of this room only, not the other room also, no? And it will not go, like sunlight follow you, but that fire which you created here, it will not follow you. Right?
Yeah.
And anugami, ananugami. The third one is vardhaman.
Increasing.
Means once you get the abhigyan, it is not so pure abhigyan. You got it, but now you are practicing more. Your aura becoming more pure. Your leshyas are more pure. Your emotions are more pure. You always remain in the pure thoughts. Then you will increase your abhigyan. Like if you will put fire in the heap of dry leaves, it will gradually increase, no? If you will put the fire in the dry leaves, then it will increase. That in that way, that is the example is given in your book. So this is a vardhaman, right? And the other one is hiyaman. Once you get abhigyan, but now you think that yes, I got something because of your ego. Again, you go to the inauspicious thoughts, impure aura, impure leshyas. Then even after attaining the abhigyan, you can decrease the abhigyan also. Even you can lose the abhigyan because of your impurity. So this is a hiyaman. One is the vardhaman and one is the hiyaman. And for hiyaman, the example is given light of the lamp without oil. If there is no oil, means you are not putting anything good into your abhigyan, it will not increase, it will start to decrease, right? How do you? Vardhaman, Yaman. There are now two more types, Pratipati and Apratipati. Pratipati means vulnerable.
Vulnerable to?
It will go to that state, you will lose your abhigyan even. Means that abhigyan which you can lose. Hiyaman means reducing only, gradually losing. Pratipati you can lose, and apratipati it will stay until you get omniscience.
Okay.
So that is the highest kind of abhigyan.
But that is
Super abhigyan. It doesn't go. Until you get omniscience.
Okay.
And pratipati, the example is given lightning. You get and lose it. And apratipati, which example is given? No example is given. I think stay until omniscience. Some example is not given. So right, this is abhigyan. 6 types of abhigyan is there. Many other types you will find. There are 2 types, 3 types. There are different perspectives. There are different categories are there. But basically the 6 types are there. Right. So now move towards the manapariyagyan. This is again you got it right. Abhigyan means limited. Limit to what? It is limited to the heart. The other limitation I forgot to say. First limitation is that it will only cognize the rupee dravya, physical things. And the other limitation is that it can, even maximum of the gyan, it can only cognize the rupee dravya of the universe. This is the same thing actually, no?
Yes.
It is related to whole universe, no? It cannot go to the alokakash. That is the thing. Lokakash only.
But can you say the third limiting factor is that it does not relate to mental, because that's the manparagnan. So the limiting factor of avdignan is...
No. Avdigyan can understand the mental also, the mantra, but not a specific kind of. You can say that Avdigyan is like a GP, which can find out all the disease, and the Manaparagyan is a specialist. So Avdigyan also can understand your mental substances and modes, but not in that way as Manaparagyan understand.
Okay.
Not in that way, it's a general way Avdigyan is done. Avdigyan is a general knowledge. We will talk about the difference between Avdigyan and Manaparagyan. We will talk about that. So Manaparagyan is a mind-reading knowledge. And Manaparagyan is what it is also again limited. And it is even more limited because it is only for those beings who are in the, who are Sangi. First thing is that for having a mind-reading knowledge you need to be rational being. And the other thing is that not only rational being, there should be 9 qualities. Only if you have those 9 qualities, then only first thing is that you should be born in the Karma Bhumi. Karma Bhumi where the Tirthankar takes birth. Tirthankar means any time. Means we are also in Karma Bhumi now, because in our first you should be born in a Karma Bhumi. Second thing is that possess longevity. How to pronounce longevity or longevity? Longevity. Some says longevity, so I confuse it. Longevity. Means there should be some ayushya. With ayushya you should have with ayushya.
But that's relative, isn't it?
What?
Longevity. If someone says my ayushya is 20 years, that's...
It's okay. Sayushka means, I think, otherwise I have to say, some ayushya is given, I think, how much ayushya should be there.
Okay.
How much ayushya should be there? Asankhya varshayushka. Innumerable years. I will see that this thing, huh? I think asankhya varshayushka.
Innumerable years, so he must be not in our.
No, this area, it's related to area. That karma bhumi means, see, I will see and then I will tell you about them. I don't want to confuse them. So, right faith. You should have a right faith. Self-control. One must be paryapt. Paryapt means all paryaptis should be there. Fully developed sense organs. Free from passions. Extraordinary powers. I don't know, 9, okay? He should be monk, ascetic. Extraordinary powers. Tansangi, rational, he should be rational. This type of thing. Some say 7 or some say. These means he should be monk, and in monk also he should be free from all kinds of passion, means he should be apramat in 7th gunasthan.
But is that considered, if you, for example, argument's sake, you can say Srimad Rajchandra, he was not a monk, but he was very, so then means he cannot get mana pragna, like that, is it really has to be a monk?
Really has to be a monk, is not in this way.
Because you can say sometimes that there is some Shravak who says like a monk, he's sometimes better than a monk.
But no, better than a monk, but it's very difficult. If you are a monk, then you are following the 5 vows. Otherwise, in a household life, how can you follow? You cannot follow that. If you didn't take a vows of 5, you don't take a 5 Mahavrats, then you are not monk. You take the 5 Mahavrats, and dress is not important, but your vows should be there. 5 Mahavrats should be there. Dress is not important. Definitely dress is not important, but if you should have a 5 Mahavrats and follow the 5 Mahavrats. So that in that way it is ascetic. And ascetic should be not in 6th gunasthan, not apramat, 7th gunasthan. Means free from all kind of passions. Means always aware. And he should have some kind of riddhis, special power. So only he can attain the Manaparagyan, And what is the Manaparagyan? It is again, we can say that it is again, it cognizes the material mind substances of the five sensed living beings. Material mind substances. Means if any rational being is thinking something, so when we think something, what we attract from atmosphere? Manovargana. The group, the particles of Man. Right? They are in the atmosphere. When I think something, when suppose I have Manaparagyan and you are thinking something, you are thinking about a good car, then you are taking the particles of car. What, as a Manaparyajnani, how I understand your mind? I will infer your mind you are thinking about car. What I am understanding? I just can take the particles, what you attracted. I can just have the picture of those particles, and through that picture I can understand that yes, now Nita is thinking about the car. That kind of knowledge. So that is the, again, inference. I am inferring. Yes, she is thinking about that. But through which, what is with me? Through which I can infer? Through that particles of mind. So again, particles are rupi. Pudgal ka prakar hai na wo to. Then it is rupi. So it is also limited. And the second thing is that it can understand the minds of only the beings of only. It is like limited to what area it is limited? It is limited to human area only, Manushya, Kshetra. And the Avdigyan is throughout the lok.
Oh, I see.
It is only Manushya lok. Not Urdhva lok, Adho lok, not related to Narki, Devta, no. Only Manushya lok, Manaparagyan.
So Avdigyan is more powerful in that way.
Not more powerful. If we talk about the purity, the Manaparagyan is pure. But if we talk about the scope, then Avdigyan scope is more.
Okay.
And the thing is that when we talk about there are four differences. First difference is the purity. Which Gyan is purer? Manaparagyan is purer than Avdigyan. Because in Avdigyan there is I gave an example, GP and specialist. That is the difference. So specialists have a more knowledge about the special thing. So in this way purity, where the purity is more? In Manaparagyan, not in Avdigyan. Second is Kshetra. Kshetra means scope.
So in Kshetra, Avdi is more.
In Kshetra, who is more? Avdi is more.
So does that mean that out this plant we can see what's going on in that?
Because the Kshetra,
In heaven and hell, we can see what's
yeah, Avdi Gyan, even hellish beings have Avdi Gyan. Their Gyan is not called Gyan actually, Agyan, because of Mithyatva it becomes Agyan. We will talk about Agyan also. Devta has Avdi Gyan. The Devtas have Avdi Gyan. So, and even Devtas and Narkis, in hellish beings and heavenly gods, they get Avdi Gyan right from the birth. They don't need to do any efforts. And Manushya, human beings, animals, they have to do the effort. Even animals have Avdi Gyan. So here scope means what we are talking about, that scope is that, in Avdi Gyan scope is that we can know the Rupi Dravya of the whole universe. And Manaparagyan, we can know the minds of the rational beings only.
just the human beings.
Human beings only.
So can you just repeat that once again? So the scope is?
The lok.
The whole lok. Avdi Gyan, the whole lok. And for only human region. Manaparagyan is restricted to only human region. And Swami, the next thing, authorized.
Swami.
Swami. Swami means who can attain the Avdi Gyan. So Avdi Gyan can be attained by all four types of beings. Human beings, Devtas means gods and goddesses, and the hellish beings and animals.
Avdi.
Avdi. All gatis, in all gatis there can be Avdi Gyan, but Manaparagyan is only in human, Manushya Gati. And even Manushya Gati, these are the conditions, not normal Manushya. He should be ascetic, he should have some spiritual powers, he should be apramat. So this is restriction. Yeah. And one is the Visuddhi, Kshetra, Swami and Vishay. Now Vishay, what is the subject of knowing for Avdi Gyani? What it knows? It knows the physical things, maximum physical things of the whole universe. And the subject is very less of Manaparagyan. compared to Avdigyani, because its subject is only mind, particles of only mind. So we can say that it's an infinitesimal part of Avdigyan, means anantava bhag Avdigyan ka. In quantity it is very less, but in quality it is good, Manapadegyan.
So they are more for the kshetra, not Vishaya, but Somya, and physical, which is more in Manipala rather than the Avdi.
4 types of difference, okay? Vishuddhi, Kshetra, Swami or Vishay. So purity, Vishuddhi means purity, Kshetra means scope, Swami means knowing subject, and content. Vishay means content. Okay?
So Manipala is the purity scope, knowledge, and content.
And now the Keval Gyan, yes, difference is there. Now Keval Gyan is very simple. It is a perfect transcendental knowledge, knows all the physical and non-physical substance of the world with its modes. Not only substance, with each and every modes. Because in each substance there are many modes. So modes of all the time periods, future, present and past. So it is the complete knowledge, and when one achieves the Keval Gyan, only the soul has only Keval Gyan, not other Gyans, because it doesn't need any other Gyan. If you have a Keval Gyan, you don't need any other Gyan.
But in the other mode of either Mani Prajnan or Avdignan, if someone says, Tane kale 7 દિવસ tu mari jawano chu, but isn't that a mode of the future? You know something which is in the future, so that's not part of Keval Gyan. So some people have that knowledge, right?
No, Avdigyan can be also higher Avdigyan. Just we talk about that, no? Apratipati Avdigyan. It stays until Keval Gyan. It's near to Keval. Suppose if you reach to Sarvavadi Gyan, there is a 3 types again, Paramavadi, Sarvavadi. So Sarvavadi Gyan, then you are near to, now you must get the Keval Gyan, just in nearest period.
But we've got a lot of examples in scriptures whereby even Acharya Maharaj can say, this is going to happen to you after 2 weeks. But where does that fall?
So that is not mode actually.
Because that's a future event.
That is a future event. And there are many modes. Suppose it is only one mode. They say only about one future mode. There are many modes, and Keval Gyani say about all the modes.
I see.
In past, how many lives you attain? Keval Gyani say that. In future, how many lives you are going to attain? So Keval Gyani can say that. So that the highest kind of Avdi Gyan can say that, not about only one future. Future event, he can say that of the Gyani.
It's sometimes confusing because if Keval Gyani can see everything, then they can see what you're going to do in the future. The choice you make now, how can that will affect the future?
I didn't get you. What you want to ask? If Keval Gyani,
if they say that this is going to happen to you,
they don't use their Keval Gyani in that way. Just because their condition is that Gyata Drashta, just they see. They don't need to say to anybody.
if they know.
They know,
But then how will they know?
Because of their purity only. They don't need to think even. Because of purity, everything is like a clear picture.
No, supposing like in this example, they know what's going to happen to you, but it won't happen until you decide. Like if say that you're going along a path and there's 2 paths you're going there, so they won't know which path you're going to take.
They know that. Keval Gyani knows that everything, but they don't use their Gyan in all these things. They have purity about all these things.
That means that you don't have any choice. You're really living your life.
We can change our karmas and all these things. It doesn't mean that. But if Keval Gyani knows, then what is the according to Jainism, if suppose Keval Gyani is knowing, then also what is the meaning of their knowing? Just they are knowing, but they are pure soul and they are knowing. They don't say anything to do in this way, do in this way. No, they don't say this.
That's not what I'm asking. But I'm asking.
But they know that yes, whatever going to be happen and what you are going to be decided, and it will go again to be changed. They know in that way also.
Choices which choices you're going to take.
But if the choice hasn't been made.
But that's their power. They already know that what choice you're going to make in the future.
Yeah.
Because all your modes, which different modes you're going to take, they already know that that's the power they have.
But then that means that choice is meaningless in a way.
It's for you, it's meaningless.
For you it's meaningless.
No. Like, it means that you don't really have a choice, in other words.
Yeah, you haven't got it. What is going to happen is going to happen.
No, not pre-planned. You can change it. Kevalgyani knows that you can change it, but
They won't say to
you can change it. It's in your hand. So why it is a we cannot say that it's pre-planned.
Then how can they know it?
Because they know that it's the result of our karmas. They know the results of our karmas.
Generally they can know it in a second.
Huh.
But then how can they know in detail what choice you're going to make at what stage? That's what that I'm trying.
Because ઘણી વાર શું થાય કે હું એક્ઝામ માટે શેના માટે વાંચવાનું જો હું પાસ અપ થવાનો છું તો એ મારા કર્મમાં લખ્યું જ છે કે હું પાસ થવાનો જ છું તો હું પાસ થઈશ હું મારે
If
વાંચવાની
you
શું
will not
જરૂર
do
છે
effort, then your karmas will go in other way. It will give you a totally opposite effect.
But that's what I think what she's asking, that if everything is known,
If we believe in that, like whatever is written in karma, whatever is given, whatever fruit is given by the karmas, what we bound, then we will not do anything. It means, but not in that way. We don't believe in that way. We can change our karmas even other way around. If you have the good karmas are going to give you result. If you are not doing effort, it will turn into bad karmas. So it doesn't.
that's what she's asking. So ભગવાનને ખબર જ હોય કે હું માસ્ટર્સ પાસ થવાનો જ છું તો મારે વાંચવાની જરૂર જ નથી, હું પાસ જ થવાનો છું. ભગવાનને ખબર છે કે હું ફેલ થવાનો છું તો ના વાંચું તો પણ ફેલ થવાનો
Not
છું.
in that way. They don't use in that way. Suppose if Kevalgyani, suppose Mahavir Bhagwan was there, they got the Kevalgyani. So they know that what is going to be happen. But something is that because they have to suffer that they cannot change it. Even they cannot change it. It is going to be happen. They know that it is going to be, I have to suffer that. So, but they just neutrally suffer it.
Yeah. But then again, like when you're doing fast or you're doing something wrong, that is also, they know you're going to do something bad. How, until you do it, nobody knows that you're going to do something good or bad. So how can they know? Okay, you've collected all these karmas, all these bad karmas, but you might get rid of them. How would they know?
I think it's very difficult. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but તમે જોવા જાઓ તો સેટેલાઇટ ઉપર મૂકે ને કે 2 દિવસ પછી વરસાદ પડવાનો છે. So they're taking the signals and all that, but their power is so pure, their soul is so pure that they know all the substances and they know all the modes of the substances.
Actually, they don't need to do anything. It's like a clear picture. The picture is going only, but they are looking at it. They are not able to do anything. This thing is there.
Is what's going in the past, I can understand, like I can understand, but in the future, how can they be so clear?
તો જે લોકોને
Because
ખબર
of the purity of soul only.
And to that extent, they can read it even before it happens. Yeah,
but we cannot say there is a determinism हो जाएगा फिर तो it will become like a determinism, right? No, they know, but they don't interfere for anything, so it's not like that. Okay. This is knowledge only, and I think time is over. And Agyan and see, I can in short I can complete in that way because it's not so more. This is the knowledge, okay? And Agyan is what? Agyan is nothing else. Knowledge is knowledge, but it is dependent on the container or holder of the knowledge. Suppose the holder of the knowledge is Mithyatvi, then his Mati Gyan will be called Mati Agyan, because Mithyatvi means what? Mithyatvi is that kind of knowledge which leads you to the worldly life, which increase your worldly entertainment and all these things, worldly development or worldly upliftment. That is called Mithya Gyan. And sometimes what happens, Mithyatvi means they don't want to accept others' views also. Whatever is they believe, and that is the true only. Even they believe that they know that they are not true, then also they are not accept to others' views. That is Mithyatva. And they have knowledge because of the purity of their Jnanavaraniya, uncovering of their Jnanavaraniya, they have knowledge. But because they are Mithyatva, so that Jnana becomes the Agyan. Simple example is given in all books mostly. Suppose your bottle is dirty, container is dirty. You are putting the distilled water, pure water in that, then what will happen? Water will become dirty. Water will become dirty. The same way, you are Mithyatvi, means you have a wrong perspective to see the things, to see the tattvas, to understand the tattvas. You have a wrong perspective, and if you are gaining the knowledge, then that knowledge will become Agyan, because the container is not good. But on the basis of the container only, they explain the Agyan. The same way Mati Gyan, Shuddha Gyan and Avdhi Gyan. Even Narak and hellish beings, they may have because of any kind of good result of their karmas, they may have a Avdhi Gyan. Right from the birth they have a Avdhi Gyan, but because of Mithyatva, they have that their knowledge is called Vibhang Agyan. For Avdhi Gyan, it is not used the word Avdhi Agyan. It is used the word, whatever is used is Vibhang Agyan, not Avdhi Agyan. Mati Agyan, Shrut Agyan, but for Avdhi, it is a Vibhang Agyan. And there is no Man Paryav Agyan and Keval Agyan, because Mana Paryav and Keval Gyan is related to purity only, related to Samyakti, because one condition of attaining the Mana Paryav Gyan is right faith, that is Samyaktva. Without Samyaktva, nobody can attain the Mana Paryav Gyan, and as well as Keval Gyan. So they cannot be become Agyan. Mana Paryav Gyan and Keval Gyan cannot be become Agyan. But Avdhi Gyan, it can become Agyan, because Devatas and Nargis also have Avdhi Gyan, and because if they are Mithyatvi, their knowledge become Agyan, not Gyan, and it is called Vibhang Agyan.
So there are three types of Agyan. Avdhi,
Mati, Shrut and Vibhang, not Avdhi.
Okay.
Its name is Vibhang. Means you have a Avdhi Gyan, and if you are Mithyatvi, then that Gyan will be called Vibhang Agyan.
Or then you can have Mithya Mati, Mithya Shrut and Vibhang Agnan.
Agyan. You don't say Mithya Shrut, you should say Mati Agyan, Shrut Agyan and Vibhang Agyan.
Okay.
You should say Mati Agyan, Shrut Agyan and Vibhang Agyan. And the third thing is that as she asked, Darshan. Darshan means general cognition, that what we started, na? General cognition. And general cognition can be of four types. One is the Chakshu Darshan. Chakshu Darshan means, Chakshu means what? Eyes. Ocular cognition, we can say that. Ocular general cognition means આંખોથી જે general knowledge થાય છે. Just as you see something through your eyes, and whatever happens or whatever knowledge you gain, that knowledge is called Chakshu Darshan. And the other is Achakshu, other than the eyes. All other senses will come under Achakshu. Chakshu is special because it has a direct contact between the thing and the eyes. There is a direct contact. So Chakshu is a special kind of sense, so they gave Chakshu Darshan separately, and in Achakshu Darshan all other senses will come.
So this you are explaining
Anakar Upyog,
okay.
Indeterminate knowledge.
And so this you are giving
four
types of.
So one is Chakshu Darshan.
Okay.
Chakshu Darshan means indeterminate knowledge. Chakshu means through eyes.
Yeah.
When through eyes, when you are obtaining something or observing something, then it is called Chakshu Darshan. And then it will happen, Mati Gyan and Shuddha Gyan, everything will happen. And other senses, if you are obtaining the knowledge through other senses, and which knowledge? General knowledge through other senses, that will be called Achakshu Darshan. And as she told, Avdhi Gyan is the extrasensory perception, right? You don't need your senses and mind through soul. But in Avdhi Gyan also there will be Avdhi Darshan. General knowledge. First you will get the general knowledge, and then you will get the deep knowledge. Then question will arise then, and Keval Gyan also. Keval Gyan means what? The knowledge of all modes and all these things. So there will be general and there will be specific also. But in Mana Paryav Gyan there is not Mana Paryav Darshan. Why? Because Mana Paryav Gyan is a specific knowledge only. In Mana Paryav Gyan there is a not stage like a general. It is a specific kind of knowledge. And the second thing is that Avdhi Gyan, when Avdhi Gyan go to the higher stage or in the purer stage, because in Mana Paryav Gyan there is a more purity than the Avdhi Gyan. So when Avdhi Darshan happens, so we can say in that way, there is not Mana Paryav Darshan, but before Mana Paryav Gyan, Avdhi Darshan happens. So Avdhi Darshan is for both Avdhi Gyan and Mana Paryav Gyan. Because Mana Paryav Gyan is a specific, at a higher state of Avdhi Gyan, no? Higher in that, what sense? Because it cognizes the particles of mind, material of mind. Even Avdhi Gyani can understand the material of mind, but not in that way. Mana Paryav Gyani understand in a specific way. So Avdhi Darshan can happen before Mana Paryav Gyan. One view is that. Other view is that Mana Paryav Gyan is a specific kind of knowledge. It doesn't need Darshan. And Darshan is the general knowledge. So it doesn't need Darshan. Right? So this is what darshan, 4 types of. So when the question is asked about the cognition, so you have to cover 5 types of knowledge, 3 types of agyan, ignorance or nescience, or 4 types of darshan. That paroksh part is not now, it is so important. When we talk about the praman, next chapter, then we will talk about the paroksh also. So any question? One question is there, I have to see that mana pariyagyan sayuska, there should be longevity. So just I will confirm and then I will say, okay? Otherwise some confusion may be there. Because in detail it is not given, only 9 conditions are given there. In Nandi Sutra I will find it, so I will see there.